Yeah, talking freedom and liberation. Worldwide, not just only for the nation. A radical guide, it's time to make changes. Bringing interviews and radical education. Yeah, a better future, what we really need.
Welcome to another episode of A Radical Podcast, your source for the latest news, updates, and discussions on anarchism and radical politics. I'm your host, Jason Bayless, and in today's episode, we'll be diving into the world of anarchist and radical movements, bringing you updates about A Radical Guide, sharing exciting news about Black Rose Federation's new political program, exploring anarchism in Korea, and much more. Whether you're a seasoned activist or just starting to explore the ideas of anarchism and radical politics, we hope you'll find our discussions informative, thought-provoking, and inspiring. So please sit back, relax, and join us as we explore the world of anarchism and radical politics together.
Let's go!
This week on Anarchists and Radical News, we share the latest news and events in the anarchism and radical politics world. Today we will discuss the Black Rose Anarchist Federation and their newly announced political program, Turning the Tide, an anarchist program for popular power. The Black Rose Anarchist Federation is an organization of revolutionaries who envision a world where people collectively control their workplaces, communities, and land, and all basic needs are met. They aim to create a society organized for people's aspirations, passions, and needs rather than profit, white supremacy, patriarchy, or imperialism. The Federation believes this vision can be achieved through the revolutionary power of the working class, organized in workplaces, communities, schools, and streets to overthrow the state and capitalism, building a new world from the bottom up. On May 1st, the Black Rose Anarchist Federation announced the publication of the first edition of their political program, Turning the Tide, an anarchist program for popular power. The document results from almost 2 years of collective research, discussion, and debate within the organization. Inspired by the traditions of anarchist communism, anarcho-syndicalism, especifismo, platformism, feminism, queer liberation, black liberation, abolitionism, and anti-racism, the program aims to provide a clear picture of the world we live in, the social structures that dominate us, and a unified strategy to achieve short and medium-term objectives towards the ultimate goal of social revolution and libertarian socialism. Turning the Tide program is a living document designed to be updated and revised as the world changes. A public version of the document, excluding sensitive information, is now available, with a print version coming soon for broader distribution. To get a copy, visit blackrosefed.org. This new political program from the Black Rose Anarchist Federation signifies a significant development within the anarchist movement. It provides a unified vision and strategy for revolutionaries seeking to build a more just and equitable world. Keep an eye on this program's progress and its impact on the broader anarchist and radical communities.
A radical guide, that's what this is. Highlighting the diverse world of resistance.
In today's episode, we'll delve into the rich history of the Korean anarchist movement, highlighting some key events, figures, and organizations that shaped its development and trajectory. So, let's get started. The Korean anarchist movement emerged during a turbulent period in the country's history as Korea faced internal and external challenges. Japanese colonial rule, which began in 1910, brought about significant political, economic, and social changes, leading to widespread discontent among the Korean population. The oppressive colonial policies, combined with the influence of anarchist ideas from around the world, paved the way for developing a robust and diverse anarchist movement in Korea. The movement was deeply rooted in the historical struggles of the Korean people, including the Donghak Peasant Revolution of 1894 and the March 1st movement in 1919. The Korean Anarchist Federation in China, KAFC, played a crucial role in the development of the movement, with its main program, the Korean Revolution Manifesto, serving as a guiding document for its members. The manifesto aimed to build upon these historical events and galvanize the Korean people in their struggle for freedom and equality, emphasizing the need for a radical transformation of Korean society to establish a stateless, egalitarian society based on anarchist principles. Korean anarchists were inspired by the works of thinkers such as Mikhail Bakunin, a Russian revolutionary and one of the founding figures of modern anarchism. Peter Kropotkin, a Russian scientist and philosopher known for his theory of mutual aid and anarcho-communism, and Enrico Malatesta, an Italian anarchist who advocated for a revolutionary and insurrectionary approach to achieving an anarchist society. They were also influenced by the experiences of anarchist movements in countries like China, where figures like Liu Shifu and the Guangzhou group played an important role. Japan, where anarchism flourished during the early 20th century with prominent activists like Kotoku Shusui, and Russia, the birthplace of Bakunin and Kropotkin, and a significant location for early anarchist movements before the rise of the Soviet Union. The Korean anarchists sought to apply these ideas to their unique situation, adapting and modifying them to address the challenges and realities they faced under colonial rule. This led to a diverse movement encompassing various activities, from education and propaganda to direct action and armed struggle. The harsh conditions under Japanese colonial rule catalyzed the growth of the anarchist movement in Korea. The colonial government implemented policies that suppressed Korean culture, language, and education, and exploited the country's resources and labor for Japan's benefit. These policies fueled resentment and anger among the Korean people, leading many to join the struggle for national liberation and social transformation. The Korean anarchist movement was characterized by its diversity, as it included various groups and individuals with different goals and strategies. One of the pivotal moments in the Korean anarchist movement was the March 1st independence movement of 1919. This nationwide uprising against Japanese colonial rule saw many anarchists participating in protests and demonstrations, further solidifying their commitment to the struggle for national liberation and social transformation. Ha Ki-rak, a prominent Korean anarchist intellectual and writer, was a leading figure in the movement. Born in 1896, he was influential in spreading anarchist ideas and organizing the movement. In 1928, he founded the Eastern Anarchist Federation, which aimed to connect and coordinate the activities of anarchist groups throughout East Asia. Ha Ki-rak also wrote extensively on anarchism, including his influential work, A History of the Korean Anarchist Movement. Another prominent figure in the Korean anarchist movement was Kim Chwa-chin, often called the Korean Makhno, drawing a parallel to the famous Ukrainian anarchist Nestor Makhno, who led a large-scale anarchist insurrection during the Russian Civil War. Born in 1889, Kim was a military leader who played a key role in organizing guerrilla resistance against Japanese forces in the 1920s, particularly in the mountainous regions along the Korea-China border. His leadership and military expertise were instrumental in establishing and defending the Korean People's Association in Manchuria, KPM, an autonomous anarchist zone from 1929 to 1931. Pak Yol was another dedicated anarchist and independence activist. Born in 1902, he was involved in the Korean anarchist movement from an early age. Pak co-founded the anarchist group Black Wave Society and later joined the Eastern Anarchist Federation. In 1928, he was arrested for his involvement in an assassination plot against a Japanese official and spent over 20 years in prison before being released in 1945. Shin Chae-ho was an influential Korean nationalist, historian, and anarchist. Born in 1880, he advocated for an aggressive form of nationalism and was a founding member of the Korean Anarchist Federation in China. The Korean People's Association in Manchuria, KPM, was an autonomous anarchist zone established in 1929. Located in the northeastern region of China, the KPM was home to many Korean exiles and independence activists. The organization sought to create a stateless society based on the principles of anarchism, including mutual aid, direct democracy, and voluntary cooperation. Led by Kim Chwa-chin and other prominent anarchists, the KPM faced significant challenges from Japanese forces and rival nationalist groups. Despite these obstacles, the KPM persisted until 1931, when it was ultimately crushed by Japanese military intervention. The Cheongsan-ri Uprising of 1920 was a major armed uprising led by Korean anarchists and independence activists, including Kim Chwa-chin, against Japanese colonial forces in the Cheongsan-ri region. These events, figures, and organizations were crucial in shaping the Korean anarchist movement, reflecting its diversity and determination in adversity. Their contributions to the struggle for national liberation and social transformation left an indelible mark on the history of anarchism in Korea and beyond. Now let's explore the legacy and impact of Korean anarchism on today's world. Although not as prominent today as it once was, the Korean anarchist movement has impacted Korean society and the global anarchist movement. The struggle for national liberation and social transformation in Korea during the early 20th century paved the way for a broader understanding of anarchism and its potential for addressing social, political, and economic issues. In South Korea, the legacy of the anarchist movement is still evident in various social movements and organizations advocating for labor rights, democracy, and social justice. While these movements may not explicitly identify as anarchist, the principles of mutual aid, direct action, and self-governance that were central to the Korean anarchist movement continue to inspire activists in their quest for a more equitable society. North Korea, on the other hand, has taken a different path, embracing a state socialist system under the leadership of the Kim dynasty. Although the North Korean government has suppressed any potential resurgence of anarchism, the history and ideas of the Korean anarchist movement can still offer valuable insights for those seeking to understand the region's complex political landscape. Beyond the Korean peninsula, the Korean anarchist movement has also impacted the global anarchist community. The experiences of Korean anarchists in their struggle against colonialism, imperialism, and authoritarianism provide essential lessons for activists and theorists worldwide. The cross-cultural connections established by figures such as Ha Ki-rak, who founded the Eastern Anarchist Federation, demonstrate the potential for international solidarity and cooperation among anarchist movements. Furthermore, the Korean anarchist movement's emphasis on adapting and applying anarchist principles to local conditions has encouraged a more nuanced understanding of anarchism and its potential for addressing diverse social, political, and economic issues across different contexts. This approach has inspired other movements worldwide to engage with anarchism creatively and innovatively, adapting it to their unique circumstances and challenges. The Korean anarchist movement played a significant role in Korea's struggle for national liberation and social transformation during the early 20th century. The movement's diverse array of events, figures, and organizations reflects the resilience and determination of Korean anarchists in their pursuit of a stateless and egalitarian society. While the movement may not be as prominent today as it once was, its legacy and impact continue reverberating throughout Korean society and the global anarchist movement, inspiring new generations of activists and thinkers to engage with anarchism's potential for creating a more just and equitable world. One notable contemporary organization carrying on the legacy of the Korean anarchist movement is the Anarchist Federation in South Korea. This group serves as a platform for individuals and groups in South Korea interested in anarchist ideas and activism, participating in protests, publishing literature, and engaging with international anarchist events. To learn more about the Anarchist Federation in South Korea and their activities, you can visit A Radical Guide, which provides information on anarchist and radical organizations worldwide.
Radical education, a better future, what we really need, not rooted in capitalism.
Welcome to the updates about A Radical Guide, where we share the latest news and happenings related to A Radical Guide's platform. We're thrilled to announce a new segment called A Radical Location. We showcase radical locations, providing an overview of the location, its background, and its significance within the anarchist movement or community. Before jumping in, this is a reminder to all our listeners. If you have a location you would like to see featured here or on A Radical Guide, you can add it to our platform. By doing so, you'll help us grow our comprehensive directory featuring organizations, collectives, and initiatives championing social justice, equality, and radical activism. To add a location, visit radicalguide.com and click on the Add Listing button in the top right-hand corner. Your contributions will enable others to discover valuable connections and nurture a sense of camaraderie among activists. And if you don't have a location to add but still want to support A Radical Guide, please visit radicalguide.com and click the Support ARG button in the top menu to discover ways to contribute. Let's talk about today's featured radical location, Il Centro di Documentazione Franco Salomone. Located in Turin, Italy, this documentation center collects and preserves materials related to anarchism, social struggles, and labor movements. Named after the prominent Italian anarchist Franco Salomone, The center houses a vast collection of books, newspapers, pamphlets, and other resources invaluable for researchers, activists, and anyone interested in understanding the history and ideas of anarchism and social movements. Franco Salomone was an influential Italian anarchist who played a vital role in the anarchist movement in Italy during the 20th century. He was actively involved in various social struggles and was a prolific writer, contributing to numerous anarchist publications. Salomone was also known for his commitment to building solidarity among workers and promoting anarchist ideas, making him a significant figure in the history of Italian anarchism. That's all for this segment of Updates About a Radical Guide. Be sure to check out A Radical Guide for more information on these and other radical locations, and remember to contribute by adding your favorite locations or supporting our work.
Let's go!
That brings us to the end of another episode of A Radical Podcast. Thank you for joining us as we explored the latest updates and discussions in anarchism and radical politics. We hope our conversations have provided valuable insights and perspectives to consider as you continue to engage with these important issues. Remember to subscribe to our podcast to stay updated on future episodes, and feel free to share your thoughts and feedback with us by leaving a comment or reaching out through our social media channels. We'd love to hear your opinions, ideas, and suggestions for future episodes. Remember, change starts with each of us, and together we can work towards building a better world based on principles of social justice, equality, and radical activism. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay radical.
Yeah, talking freedom and liberation. Worldwide, not just only for the nation. A radical guide, it's time to make changes. Bringing interviews and radical education. Yeah, a better future, what we really need. Not rooted in capitalism or supremacy. Yeah, trust, you don't want to miss it. We bring the truth right to you, the past, present, and future. Let's go. A radical guide, that's what this is. Highlighting the diverse world of resistance. Let's go.